Let me post it live real quick.
Thoughts on the name Utah Mammoth,
I like it.
the hockey team?
Not a lot of mammoths out there, so kind of like it.
I was thrown off that it's not plural,
Oh,
that they're
just the
just the
mammoth.
mammoth. Yeah, not how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's a bit odd. Good.
Yep, you're good.
Let's get started in three, two,
Mm,
and
uh,
one.
well,
What? Oh.
I was just speaking French. Sorry.
All right. Three, two, un, deux, trois.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing great, Chris. We are 1 week away from NBA basketball, so I'm pretty excited about that. Um, Hockey's started. I watched the Capitals win yesterday. Actually, I don't know why I sat down and watched it, but I did. And we learned a new lesson this week, which was good. We're not gonna take wise picks on a game that we have no interest in and don't want to watch. And the 7.5 for the Bronco, we rushed to wake up and get a 5-minute pot out there. 20 minutes later, it's shot down the drain. Um,
In all
we
fairness, it started off hot.
Yes, it did. It started off great. And two, like, I would still take that both those picks today. And it was just an ugly London game. We went against the Lunder. It was exactly the Lunder. And we I had the Broncos -7, which I would take every Sunday of the year against the Jets. And it did not come into fruition. Bo Nix looked pretty bad. The whole game looked bad. Justin Fields ended with 45 passing yards. I think the team total was -10. Yeah, -10 passing yards with all the sacks. It was 82 yards total yards in a football game from a football team, professional football team. I honestly feel bad for England or wherever this was played, and yeah, that sucked. We were watching.
It's
We actually watched the games together this weekend, and when I came over, you were I told you the final score and talking about the game, and he was like, "So what happened?" And then there was highlights on the red zone that we were watching, and it went from the first quarter points, and then skipped all the way to the fourth quarter, and I was like,
what's left to think.
that's pretty much what happened. That was pretty much it. And then the highlights were over.
It's almost like Denver got up 10-0 or 10-6 and was like, okay, I think that's all we need. And then it would have been if they didn't take a safety.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. There was apparently, I was watching at halftime. There was apparently a drive that they got a fake punt or something that got a first down, and then the Jets just decided to not use 3 timeouts and try to kick a field goal and just ran out the rest of the clock. I don't know if they were scared of a Justin Fields interception or a fumble or what they were, which Justin Fields, funny enough, has not thrown an interception yet this year. But I don't know what they were afraid of. And yeah, it's all around bad. All around really bad for the New York
I
Jets.
had a coworker who's a Jets fan say that out of all of the bad quarterbacks that he's seen in the last 20, 25 years, this was quite possibly the worst quarterbacking performance that he's seen.
It doesn't get much. It doesn't get much. It doesn't get much worse than nine completions for 41 yards. It
He
really
had as many
doesn't.
sacks as he had completions.
Oh.
Like if you took his sack line, his sacks plus yards, and made it his completions plus yards, it would be better. If he got sacked for 10 more yards than he completed,
Gross.
which I guess is why they have had negative 10 passes. Brees Hall,
That's
22 for 59, is another really disturbing statistic.
yep. Yep. That's gross. I saw Josh Reynolds trending on the sleeper fantasy list, and I was like, why is he trending? And I looked at his thing, and it was 3 catches for 25 yards, and the description just said he was technically the leading receiver for the New York Jets.
Their
So
their longest play on offense was 11 yards.
that's disturbing. All of this is disturbing.
Yeah.
So that's the recap of our two wise picks there that failed, but that was all around a disgusting football game. As you said, I mean, the Broncos coming off a great win against the Eagles, then have to go to England, and as you said, they got 6 points, and they're like, all right, we'll just try our best to hold this as our own. Like this will be it. Or they got 7 points, I guess, and then tried to hold it as their own. Um, gross, 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 gross. So let's move on. We'll go. Do we want to go? Do you want to go Monday night, or do you want to go wise picks first?
We can do the wise picks
All right.
first. It's all about.
Um,
I'm destined to go 1-2 every week. I don't know how to break like at this point it's honestly impressive
it
that I've
is.
gone 1-2 every single week. I don't know how it's possible.
Yep. You are 6 for 6 on 1 and 2. I have some variance. I've gone 1 and 2 twice, 2 and 2 3 times, and 3-0 once. Um, but yeah, 1 and 2 6 times in a row is that's pretty hard to do.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
So in my head, all I need to do is go 3-0 back-to-back weeks, and I'm back to 500.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not far off. We're not far off.
Somebody send me some picks. My picks are terrible. Send me 3 games and I'll have my dog pick them. That's what I'm gonna do this week and just see
She'll be one
see
of the
see
picks.
if the 50. Yeah.
Um, so my winners, the most interesting game of the 1 o'clock schedule was the Carolina Panthers and Dallas Cowboys. 27-30. Rico Dowdle again had 38 rushing yards. He had 240 something scrimmage yards and yeah, 239 scrimmage yards. Most in Panthers history. They had the scheduled Bryce Young interception, and then he looked
Yep.
amazing. And it's funny, like he looked amazing, but without that rushing game, they don't win the game. I mean, they ran it 30 times,
Yeah.
more than Bryce Young threw it, and Bryce Young ended with just a shy less than 200 passing yards. He did have 3 touchdowns, but so like he's he's controlling the offense. He's running exactly what they need him to do, which is a good sign. And the Cowboys offense, they held up pretty much the whole game. The Panthers defense stepped up at the end, and they were able to get a field goal to take the lead right at the end. So a fun game, back and forth. Panthers actually had to come back in the fourth quarter a little bit, and yeah, that's I mean that's really all I got for the game. The over was pretty much a lock. Both bad defenses, and the receiving work here for the Panthers was pretty rough. But Rico Dowdle just I think he's close to he might be top 5 in rushing already in the season just based off the past 2 weeks. I
How
think
do
I
they
saw
put
that.
Chuba Hubbard back in?
I don't know. There was
Like, I
some
mean, this dude
threatening
averaged
tweets
6 yards a
today.
carry on 30 carries. Absurd.
That
He's
is
had
absurd.
200 yards from scrimmage back-to-back weeks, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Well over too.
Yeah. I don't I mean, I guess you could go committee and, like I mean, I don't think anyone thinks that Rico Dowdle was necessarily better than Chuba Hubbard. But when you've got a hot hand like this, I feel like especially at running back,
Mhm.
like you can't take away carries all of a sudden. And I don't think they will.
Panthers' all-time scrimmage yards in a game goes Rico Dowdle, Christian McCaffrey, Rico Dowdle. And those are just those are the past 2 weeks. The
Yep.
Let me look up the
Absurd.
rushing leaders. But I'm 90% sure he's number 5 in the NFL now. And
I mean, the days of guys getting 100 yards a game are long past, so I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, number 5, Rico Dowdle. Impressive stuff. Impressive stuff for 2 games.
It is a fun, like, little early NFL season storyline too.
There was some threatening tweets coming out of Panthers camp where it was Rico or not it was Chuba Hubbard spotted at practice today. I was like, "Oh no." And then I saw a quote today. It was like Chuba Hubbard says that he's 110%. I was like, "No. No, get this man off the team. Trade him somewhere ASAP. We need all the Rico Dowdle that we can get." And but it was a fun game. The Cowboys, I was surprised by the Panthers' run defense on the flip side, where Devontae
Mhm.
Williams has been rushing all over everybody all year, and he got bottled up pretty easily this game. So held to 2.2 yards per carry, 29 rushing yards. George Pickens, though, on the flip side, just certified CD Lamb replacement. With CD being out, he has stepped into this role and really looked like a guy that we thought he could be in Pittsburgh with a good quarterback.
Yeah, he looked awesome. The one thing with Pickens and it's like every highlight that they show of him when they go to red zone, he like hurdled over somebody on one of his first catches of the game, and then it's like every catch the rest of the game he's trying to jump over somebody, like he's spamming Y on Madden.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly what it felt like.
he's one of the most fun receivers to watch play. Like
It
that
was
guy is just never changed.
no, never change. Real dog mentality, and he, yeah, it was like your Y button had a little was a little sticky. It was just when you press it once, he's got to do it like 3 times in a row. Try it out. Make sure you don't do it next time. He luckily didn't fumble on one of those inbounds, but yeah, 168 receiving yards for him. The rest of the team, no one even cracked 40. So he was really the offense that game, and it was fun to watch. Back-to-back weeks for him. That was
Yeah,
been fun to watch.
yeah. The Cowboys are such a fascinating team because I really do feel like they could beat anybody and they could also lose to anybody.
Yes.
Like outside of the Jets. But like, I mean, they went toe to toe with the Eagles in week one. Giants almost beat them week two. And they get smoked by the Bears and come back and tie the Packers. And now they've lost to the Panthers. So like any given week with the Cowboys, I feel like the line should just be 3.
Yeah.
And the over should be 60.
Yeah, the over
Like
definitely needs to
they're gonna
be.
play a very similar game every single week.
Completely agree. The Speaking of playing the same game every single week, you had Cleveland Pittsburgh under 38.5, which was your winner. And the Cleveland Browns, I think, have played the same game every week for, I don't know, 20 years since they've come back into the NFL.
Yeah, it's very depressing.
There's
Very
not much to
depressing.
say about this game. I mean, Rodgers and DK Metcalf have looked solid. They're connecting, and I will say, shout out Darnell Washington. They're finally passing the ball, and everyone's talking about him on podcasts. He looks like a freaking tank out there. That's what he was in Georgia. I was so excited about this guy, and I'm glad that they're getting him the ball. And yeah, that's about it. Like their Jalen Warren looked good in the run game. The Browns threw it 52 times with Dylan Gabriel. 52 times. That's absurdity.
Especially when you have Judkins, like, who's been awesome the last couple weeks. It's not like this game was ever out of reach, too. Like, they weren't down 2 scores until the 4th quarter, right?
Yeah. Maybe the third quarter. Yeah, it would be in well, second quarter was 9, so it's still not out of reach. It's 9-3. That's not out of reach at all. And then third quarter, it became at one
Yeah,
point, I think
23-6.
16-3. Yeah, 20. All right.
Yeah, they should never be short it that many times. I don't know how you get up how you get up for these games anymore as a Browns fan. I would imagine a lot of them don't. Like, you hit this point in the season and you're like, "All right, well, time to start thinking about the draft," right? Like, I've been there. You hit a point in the season where you just kind of remind yourself of who you are, and you start scouting college games and just enjoying the league as a fan.
Yeah, you can start enjoying football. There's there's nothing really to get up about in this scenario.
I mean, it seems like they have something with Harold Fannin. That's something, right?
Yep, they have some with Judkins. Judkins looks like a good running
Yep.
back. They and
They
I
have a
hate to
defense.
yeah, they do have a defense, which is I think maybe the disappointing part. It's like, wow, like we have a
'Cause they've
defense.
had a defense every year.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know. They Dylan Gabriel just doesn't look like I mean, I don't know how when you throw it 52 times and get 200 passing yards, it's just not good at
He's
all.
just not an NFL quarterback, I don't think.
No, he's small, he's left-handed, and I guess left-handed doesn't really affect your play, but he's just tiny. He's really
Doesn't look
small.
right.
It doesn't look right now. The
Um,
Yeah, that's all I got, really. Is it
I will
Shador
say on
time?
the
Like,
other
do we got to
side,
do it?
I give it a couple more weeks, I think.
I
I
would
don't think they
too.
want to. It's 'cause I don't think Stefanski wants to deal with it,
No,
honestly.
I don't think
I
they
don't
do
think you
either.
want him, like, if you want him in the first place, they would've drafted him
Yeah,
earlier, so but eventually he'll get forced into it. Or maybe, like, he'll just decide that they need something. I'm kinda shocked that he still has a job. If I were him, I'd wanna be
Stefanski.
fired.
Oh, would want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say they wouldn't
It's
fire
just
him.
not a
Like he's a
Browns
good
thing to,
coach.
like, keep the coach around. He is a good coach, but, like, at some point, you think you just have to move on,
I agree.
like, for both sides.
Yeah,
That
he
guy
definitely
he
wants
needs
out.
it. Yeah.
Get him on the Titans. Get him on the
Um,
Titans next year.
maybe he does a year as an offensive coordinator?
Do you want him in Washington?
I maybe.
What were you saying
Um,
before I cut you
I
off?
like Cliff. I was gonna say on the Pittsburgh side, it kind of feels like Aaron Rodgers is gonna give you, like, just enough good throws and highlight plays every week to kind of, like, convince you that there might be MVP level Rodgers in there.
Yes.
But, like, when it comes down to crunch time, end of the season and the playoffs, it's gonna be clear that it's not MVP level Rodgers.
See, that's what I'm curious about because I kind of think it's on purpose. We have one or two
You think?
throws. We have one or two throws a week, maybe even like 4 or 5 throws a week that look really good. The rest, we just run the offense. We get the ball quick as possible out. We make sure he's not touched whatsoever, and then we run the football. I mean, he threw it. I was kind of surprised he threw it 30 times, and especially when it didn't seem like they needed to. Um, that touchdown to Connor Hayward, brother of Cam, that was crazy.
Mhm.
Like that was a vintage. Like
Yeah,
he
that was an
threaded the
awesome
needle,
throw.
and so I'm not sure. That is a good like. I think we'll have to see the big game. Of course, we'll have to see in a big game. Let me see their schedule. Then we'll see that.
They get Bengals tomorrow night, and then they get Packers at home Sunday night the next week, and then the Colts, and then the Chargers.
So they have some big games coming up. And I guess
Yeah.
after that stretch, we'll 100% know for sure if these guys are like or if what you say is true, where Rodgers is he's gonna come back down to earth when he's not playing these poopy teams because they'll probably eviscerate the Bengals. They'll probably kill them.
I don't know. These Thursday night games, man, have been kind of wild.
They have been wild, and the Bengals defense actually
Flacco
looked good
against the
last
Steelers
week.
too.
I don't know
They
what it
did, yeah.
was about the Packers, which kind of scares me about the Packers going forward. What it
Mhm.
But yeah, their defense kind of looked good last week. I was kind of in on them. Um, And Joe got us our 2 touchdowns that we needed. So the
Those in the know.
yes, those in the know. It will be nice to see Rodgers in big games though. Going up against the Packers on Sunday night, that'll be all eyes on
Yep.
them. That'll be fun. And I think we'll learn a lot about this offense.
So yeah, that actually is a good transition to the next point that I was going to make about the Steelers, which is it's funny or how much we complained about Rodgers the last couple years being, an attention seeker and all the drama this offseason where he took 3 months to sign with the team. And I feel like we haven't heard anything from the Steelers just as like NFL fans. Like
Agreed.
maybe you get more. Yeah. I don't know if it's because they haven't played a primetime game yet, or if it's because like there just hasn't been anything super exciting since that week one game. But like since that Seattle game, they've just kind of been like in obscurity almost. So I think it's neat that we're going to get them on primetime the next couple weeks. Um, we can really get those Rogers takes flowing.
I agree. I think that is it is an interesting point of the NFL. You would have thought 6 weeks in that we had a lot of Rodgers drama and there would be something
They're
going
four and
wrong.
one.
They are
Like
4
they're
and
the
1 and
quietest
I
4-1 in the NFL.
agreed. And I think this is what happens when there's adults in the room with Rodgers that just tell him to do what
Fair
he
enough.
needs to do. You have Mike Tomlin that
Fair
tells
enough.
him and Arthur Smith who has been established offensive coordinator and his fingerprints are all over this offense. I mean, it's literally DK Metcalf and 5 tight ends. And so you I think when you have an established like you have establishments like that, they there's not a lot of room for Rodgers to say silly things, coaches to say silly things. So maybe
Mhm.
we'll see some in prime time.
Yeah, they're not the Jets.
No, definitely not. Yeah, he's not in a circus anymore. Like this is he's in a he's in a grounded team. He's not on the he's like it's not he's not on the Browns, he's not on um like not even like the Jaguars, any of these teams that have been historically bad with historic like collapses and bad characters on their teams, honestly. Like the Steelers are the cream
Mm.
of the crop when it comes to organizations.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go Rams real quick. This game sucked. -7.5. Kind of scary in the first half, and then it was a lock. I mean, I don't even know why. Like
There's
I
another
think it
game
was
where we didn't see a highlight in the second half.
no
Like once the Rams got to 14, the game might as well have just ended there.
after the Derrick Henry. Yeah, oh yeah, and in the fourth quarter, no points after the Derrick Henry tush push or the Mark Andrews tush push. Then Derrick Henry stopped at the fourth. I don't think we ever saw the game again. Besides maybe like updates on Puka Nakua being hurt, which I haven't heard anything about. I think if you go overseas, you just let him rest. I wouldn't play Puka
I
Nakua
think so.
because then
He's
they have
he's
a bye
projected
week.
0 for what it's worth. Yeah,
Well,
I
and
think he'll be held out this week for sure.
I think it's Ravens malpractice that Tyler Huntley didn't play both of these games. He immediately got in and looked much better than Cooper Rush did. It just doesn't make any sense to have a non-running quarterback
I
behind Lamar Jackson.
was about to say, yeah, the offense is completely tailored to a Lamar quarterback.
Yeah, like it makes sense for the Cowboys when you have Dak Prescott hucking it down yard every time. That's not that's not what their game plan is. That's never what their game plan is. So to completely reinvent the offense for a mediocre backup and like as
Mhm.
like when he first got in, we said, he won the Cowboys some games, like maybe he can get some things going, but they didn't have to retailer the whole offense for him. Um,
It's literally been since Flacco since they've had an immobile
yep,
quarterback.
yep. All of
Like they
their
had
backups have
RG3
been that. Yeah,
with
RG3.
Lamar
They had
first, and then Hunter
Pro Bowl Tyler Huntley, and
and Todd, right? Or was that
uh,
before? Rod Taylor? Or was that before?
that was before. I think they drafted
Okay,
Terod Taylor, and
I
but
think
they
you're right.
also, I
Yeah,
mean, they had Josh Johnson too. I don't think he ever played, but he was the third string. Um, Derrick Henry
yeah.
he finally looked like Derrick Henry again, even though he couldn't get in. It is funny that like Derrick Henry's for some reason not who you want on the 1-yard line. I feel like I see more highlights of Derrick Henry passing it to the end zone on the 1-yard line than I do him rushing from the 1-yard line to the end zone. I'm probably wrong on that, but that's just in my brain. I remember more touchdowns thrown by Derrick Henry on the 1-yard line than rushing touchdowns from the 1-yard line.
Well, because it's happened more than once, which is
Yes.
it's like the Doofenshmirtz meme.
Yeah.
It's like, "I'd
The
have
2
2 nickels,"
nickels.
but it's weird that it's happened twice, right?
Yeah. Yes, that is true. Um, yeah, that's kinda all I got on this game. Zay Flowers, I felt bad while driving to your house. I was on the phone with my brother. He was like, "Should I start Zay Flowers or Matthew Golden?" And I was like, "Cooper Rush. He'll probably, like, try to pass the ball a little bit more." Zay Flowers fumbled it twice. So I don't know what he ended on fantasy because he did like, I mean, I guess he had 6 points because he had 6 catches for 46 yards and then 2 fumbles. So that's on me. I think he won though, so that's good. I probably would have heard about it a lot more if he didn't win. The Rams, another another opportunity just to play down to their competition. This Jaguars game is going to be close. I know it. I know it's going to be close, whatever the line is.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just because I don't know if they don't get up for games. They just don't care. Like they just knew they were going to beat the Ravens because their team's falling apart. Um, that's all I got. Like they didn't really do much of anything. Um, but the Ravens much needed bye week this week. Hopefully we see Lamar coming back. Even though I'm not a fan of the Ravens, I don't want to see them go.
Yeah, it's just getting sad.
Yeah, I don't need to see them go 1-9 like that. It would be funny, like I would laugh, but it would not. They're one of the premier teams in the
The
NFL.
league, yeah.
Yeah,
Wanna see the best quarterbacks in the playoffs, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
and
mean,
like,
and when you think about, like, who's taking their playoff spot too, it's like
oh yeah,
maybe the Jags or, like, Broncos. I guess the Pats.
Pats are gonna win the division.
Fair enough.
Um, we'll get to them later. We'll end off with Sunday Night Football, which was our Lions plus 2.5. The closer we got to the game, the more nervous I got about it.
Oh, smelled. Somebody in our group chat said it was rigged, and I think they're right.
Yeah,
But I blame myself
Brock.
because I thought I was on the right side of this. I just totally misread that line.
Hmm.
I thought that people would be scared to bet against the Chiefs, so I thought I was on the sneaky side.
Yeah,
So
once he said 80% of the
that was
money
a
was
miss.
on the lines.
I misread. Yeah, I misread the putt.
Yeah, because it's funny because like out of both of us, I am the one much more likely to pick the 80% money is on this team, and you are much more on the 20%. So it is funny that yeah, you completely misread the putt.
Should have checked. Should have checked.
We did it at 8 in the morning. We'll just find excuses every week. You just when you ride our picks, just know that there's going to be some excuse the next week,
Yeah,
unless we go 3-0, and then we're just wise guys.
yeah. And you're an idiot for not writing them.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Um, the what also like when we got there and it was like a night game, it was outside. I was like, oh no, Jared Goff outside. I was like, oh man, I totally
Oh,
forgot
but the
about Jared.
Ravens game, I thought the same thing. I thought the Ravens were gonna smoke them.
Yep.
That's the NFL. You can't get too comfortable. I got comfortable. I got
I
really
think the
comfortable with how
Lions.
much I like.
I think they got comfortable too. They won 4 in a row, big games too. They're doing
Yeah,
the trickery at the 1-yard line when you have two good running backs. I know it was fourth down, but that was also weird. I felt like they didn't like. I guess it was just an illegal shift, but I feel like illegal shifts happen like the Chiefs receiver runs routes in the backfield right before they snap the ball. Like how is that not an illegal shift? I don't really know what a legal shift
what
is. How
was the
about you?
call?
I think it was a
Like,
legal
yeah,
shift.
okay. Well, no. Well, I was gonna ask like why, what led to the illegal shift.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jared Goff motioning out of the center to be a wide receiver, and then um, Dave Montgomery threw it. You don't remember that?
I like to see the play again.
Anyways, this is the second week in a row I followed Pardon My Takes touchdown parlay, and Amon-Ra St. Brown was on, and he was on our touchdown parlay too, but Dobbs already killed it. And it was the last leg was Amon-Ra, and for 2 weeks in a row, I've watched them not throw to Amon-Ra in the end zone. And then yesterday, I saw a tweet, or it was Monday or Sunday, and it was like, I faded LeBron's touchdown parlay because he works for DraftKings. Why wouldn't I? And I was like, these damn Pardon My Take guys are taking my damn money every week. And I know now that I'm on the train, the
If you
second
work
I
for
don't bet it,
DraftKings.
they're hitting. They're hitting next week if I don't
Yeah.
bet. So that's what I'm nervous about. I'm kind of stuck
They're
on
also
this
gambling.
limbo.
They're also gambling addicts. Like they're
Oh
not.
yeah.
It's not like LeBron. Like they're trying to win.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
LeBron's just throwing picks out there.
Um, did you see
Why is
J-
LeBron allowed to bet on the NFL? I thought athletes like weren't allowed to bet on stuff.
I don't know if he's
I guess maybe
betting or
that's just.
not. Technically, I guess
Oh,
he's
but
not
he
allowed.
can't do the ads if he's not allowed to bet.
Why not?
Well, it'd be like an 18-year-old in a beer ad.
Yeah, but we could give out all of our picks and never bet it. Like, who's stopping us? But I guess we don't work for draft. Like,
We could, but they're not. We're not like the company's not paying us to.
not
You
yet.
know, seems like a conflict of interest.
Hit our lines. We'll, I'll be anyone's affiliate. Um.
We'll look at our picks and well, my picks. And, yeah, actually, no. They'd love
Oh yeah,
me.
they'd want you
Give
to
out
give it out.
losers,
Yeah. Be like the wise
wise
touchdown
guy
parlay of the
parlay.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loses literally every week.
Yep. That's we're giving out free. We're gonna have a free advertisement here. Um. I also didn't realize how beaten up it was, like, the main storyline of the Sunday Night Football, how beaten up the secondary for the Lions were.
Mhm.
And once they
What
started
game?
mentioning
What
that, it
game
was like,
last
oof.
week? Hawks that their whole secondary was hurt, and I picked them
Yeah, it's 2 in
too.
a row.
The game starts. I'm like, well, maybe I need to do more research on these picks.
Travis Kelce looked that catch, I will admit, that catch was bogus. Um, there was a catch in the middle of the field, and the nose of the football, the back of the football is in his hands, and the tip of the football is, like, literally in the ground. It could be buried in the ground, and they just called it a complete catch. Um, I think that was a little bogus.
Like, if he has control of it going to the ground, then it's still a catch. It's
I
one of
I
those
I
situations.
I guess
Those
so.
ones never like make sense to me how they
When did that rule
like
come into
actually
place, by
decide.
the way?
I think it's always been a rule. I think they just got like after the whole Dez thing, they got way less strict about it.
Hmm. If it touches the
That's
ground,
my take
it's
on
not
it.
a catch. That's my opinion. I'm no ref, but that's my opinion.
You have control of the ball though, it still is a catch.
I don't like
The
it.
ground can't dislodge the ball.
Yeah, like if it
I
shifts.
agree. I
Like
think
if
it
it
makes it
shifts,
more
right?
complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, like your
Right,
hands
yeah.
can't do the
But if you
shifting.
go to the ground, if you survive like if the tip of the ball hits the ground and it doesn't move and you still have two hands on it. Sorry, I've got a putty in my hand. If you still have two hands on it, then it's still a catch, technically. But I think it muddies the waters. Like the fact that we're still debating what a catch is annoying.
Um,
But also kind of one of those things that I hope is always a debate because I think it's fun.
yeah, I will say it's fun. I also think we talked about it on Sunday. If the ground dislodges the football, but he's out of bounds, I feel like that's kind of bullshit too.
Why? Because he's
Because
already
I
out of
think it should be a
bounds.
catch.
Yeah,
His feet are in. I think once you're out of bounds, you're out of
but
bounds.
regardless, you have to survive the ground.
I guess so. I don't know why you have to survive
Ground
it
is
out of
like the final
bounds.
boss.
I guess so. That's the Bowser of the NFL is the ground.
Yeah, the ground. You got to survive the ground.
Um, expert Mike
Let's make a football move.
expert Mike says that the illegal
Ready?
shift is only when you have two guys in motion and they both need to get set or it's a flag. So I guess there was another guy in motion. Too much quirkiness going on over there with the Lions. Sorry, that derailed me. I just saw the comment. I wanted to shout it out.
Very good. I appreciate that we have our own like Terry McCauley
Yeah,
in the comments.
yeah. We have a Bean Sterator. He just called in. Um, yeah. He comments. He said, "I learned that when they called it on Saquon." Eagles fan. Which we should probably get to the Eagles at some point, but I guess we'll do that when we talk about top 5 teams, and we'll see if they're on there or not. Last no, that was it. That was the picks. Chiefs looking like they're back, especially because it was Sunday Night Football. It was Sunday Night
Yeah.
Glaze. Sunday Night Glaze.
Very.
You would have thought that win counted for 4 wins in the NFL. Like that was they were like, and they're the number 1 favorites to win the Super Bowl now. Mahomes is going to win the MVP. It's all a bunch of bullshit. Everything's fake. All Mahomes. It's Mahomes' world. We're just living in it, and no one
In
can
all
have fun.
fairness, he's having a much better season than he has the last 2, maybe
Yes,
3 seasons.
yes.
He's QB1 in fantasy.
He's number 1 player according to Sleeper. He's number 1 player in fantasy, which I find that hard to believe, but that's what Sleeper said. I'll see if it's still. Maybe it was a glitch.
Well,
Um,
Bijan had a bye, and Puka got hurt,
so maybe
so that probably helped.
he's still riding my bench for Drake May though.
I suppose.
Yeah, he's number 1 overall.
I'll take him off your hands. I feel like this is a bad
Finally,
time to
at least I
let
don't
him
want to.
trade.
No, that's great. I just don't want to give him to Matt.
What are you looking for?
I don't know, some younger wide
You
receiver.
need pigs. Yeah,
No, I
that's what I
don't need
figured.
picks. A younger wide receiver would be nice, but we can talk about this later.
Yeah.
Um,
See.
the Yeah, the Chiefs are back. We'll again talk about them. Um, Michael also says Gene over Terry all day.
Mm,
I think that's a good. I mean,
I don't like it.
that's a bold
I like the
take.
ES. Wait, we're talking about the refs, right?
Yeah, or the NFL
I
head
like the
guys or whatever.
Yeah, I liked the ESPN guy. I forget what his name is.
What are those?
He was good the other,
I'll look it up. What are they called?
like, ref in the booth.
Yeah, I'll just look that
Rules
up.
analyst.
Rules analyst.
Rules
There you go.
analyst.
His name is Russell York.
Nobody.
He's new.
Oh, yeah, he was good. He didn't pull any punches, which I liked.
Good on Russell.
Blandino
Um,
sucks. I don't like him.
I don't like any of them. They
No, I don't need. You know who was the worst though was Mike Carey for CBS. He got fired, I think, because he was just always wrong. It is really funny. You could probably find like a Mike Carey being wrong compilation on
highlight
YouTube.
reel. That would be great.
Yeah, which honestly I kind of wish we still had because it was very funny.
All right. Other games. I think we gotta go to you, Chris. You need to face the music.
Like I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that sucked. It was awful. There were so many things that went wrong, and still they basically had the game won because the Bears were just Bears in all over the place. I mean, there was like the Roma Dunze touchdown that got called back for a legal formation, which didn't really make any sense.
Yeah, that
There
was
was the
dumb.
blocked kick that they had. There was the Olamide Zacchaeus drop pass. Like
Oh, that was
they
so
probably
brutal.
should have hung. They probably should have hung 40 points on this. Um, but the fact that they were like even in a position to win was kind of ridiculous. Which I think is why it's like obviously the way that they lost was so brutal, but you walk away from this game not even feeling like, man, we had this game won and like a Jaden fumble sold the whole game. It was more so like they deserve to lose this game. And like, yeah, it sucks that they were in position to close it out. And like he just mishandled the snap and dropped the ball. Like it was wet, but obviously that can't happen at that point in the game. Or at any point in the game for that matter. But like they got outplayed all night by a Bears team that like that was the best that they've looked offensively all year, I think. But particularly running the ball, which was pretty embarrassing. Um so yeah, I don't really know where we go from here. Their defense just isn't good. Like I think we can say that now after 6 games. Um they're just not very good
Their
and
secondary
they didn't
solid.
really
It's the
improve.
linebackers.
It's okay. I mean,
Maybe not the safeties. Maybe it's linebackers and safeties. The cornerbacks are decent.
yeah. I think like in cover they had a decent night in coverage. But I think Ben Johnson, to his credit, did a really good job of exposing Wagner and Luvu for what they are. Um and Luvu's a guy who's just not a traditional linebacker. Like he's more of a he's a versatile player, but like he excels in pass rushing situations and like he kind of plays with his hair on fire, and they were able to take advantage of that. Um, and then Wagner is just old and getting a little bit slow, so he's kind of a liability in coverage now. Um, like I thought the way that they were running the ball at this defense was like obviously I don't know the ins and outs of Ben Johnson's offense, but it looked a lot more creative. Like there were a lot of outside runs, a lot of pitch plays. There were through a lot of screen passes, and like it felt like they knew exactly how to beat this defense on the ground, and they executed it perfectly. So like I do give credit to Ben Johnson and to that running game because like he is a good coach. Not going to beat around the bush there and pretend like he's not. And they had an extra week to prepare, which doesn't hurt. Not making excuses, but it's a factor. So I think that obviously didn't help. But again, like they have to be better stopping the run. This was the whole thing last year. They got gashed by basically every team on the ground, um, including the Lions in that playoff game, and they just stopped giving Jameer Gibbs the ball. But the Bears stuck with the run game all night. I didn't think Caleb looked that good, to be honest. He wasn't really asked to do that much though.
No, he didn't.
Um,
Troy
when
Aikman would
when he
tell you the
wasn't
same
under
thing.
pressure,
Troy Aikman hated him.
yeah. But like when he wasn't under pressure, he looked good. When he was under pressure, it felt like he was a little rattled. And like when he tries to extend plays, it just feels like it never really works out. So I wasn't that impressed with Caleb, to be honest. I was more just disappointed with how we defended against the run. A lot of ref ball, which mostly went against Chicago, to be honest. So it was just a bad, like it was a hard game to watch. And then obviously you factor in the interception and the fumble in the first 2 drives of the game. Um, it just was not fun to watch.
It was a bad week, I think, for refs all around the NFL. There was some weird ref jobs going on.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree.
The Yeah, it's funny, like you said, like not trying to make excuses. Like there was plenty of excuses to choose from. The Matt Gay kick, the Jaden fumble, the Krosky Merritt fumble. Um, it's a lot of self-inflicting wounds with the Bears. As you said, Bears were doing the same thing. It was like who is going to make the last mistake, and sadly, the Commanders were that team. So
Yep.
it is. I think the run defense was definitely the biggest worry, especially the Bears haven't been able to run the football pretty much all year.
That's the thing. If it was like Barkley, it'd be one thing, but the Bears were 31st in rushing offense this year.
32nd is the Patriots, by the way, um, which is a damning stat. Um, and it looked like this was the first time. It's like, oh, the Bears did spend a lot of money on their guards and draft a left tackle in the first
Mhm.
round and have another right tackle that was a former first round pick. So it really like it. This was it felt like the same thing with the Falcons, where it's like they're finally putting the pieces together,
Mm.
and that your defense might sadly be the get right defense for the rest of the NFL, where it's not like it's like the Cowboys, where it's like,
Feels
well, we're
that
gonna
way.
smoke these guys, but it's like, oh, there's
Yeah.
just enough that there's going to be some struggles and there's going to be mistakes, but there's also enough that we can figure out what we need to do offensively. So, yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. It's better.
It's also like it's frustrating that I don't know actually if this is more frustrating or more encouraging. I think it's more frustrating. The problem the whole year has been the secondary, and they've just gotten like ripped apart in coverage. And this week, like they actually played fine on the back end and just got ripped apart front, and like they could not tackle, which has not really been one of their biggest issue. Has not been tackling this year. But like that DeAndre Swift touchdown was one of the worst tackling efforts I've ever seen.
Yeah, they look like South Carolina out there. Sorry, there's just too many South Carolina highlights of them not tackling. Um, yeah, and it's like you have young offensive pieces. You guys need to sign some. Now that Noah Brown's on the IR, like there's not any veteran wide receiver. Like I don't know OBJ out there. Like you can get anyone that can help you out. I mean, I guess
They
Terry's
worked
coming
out
back.
Traylon Burks.
Yeah, Traylon Burks. There you go. Work him out. So they did work him out, or you want them to work him out?
Mm. Yeah, they did.
Oh boy, that would be exciting. You'd
Yeah.
get yourself sold.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, you
No, it
get yourself
wouldn't.
sold. He's got a big frame.
They traded for or signed KJ Osborne last year, and I was like trying to sell
Yeah,
myself on that.
no, that's legend KJ
They
Osborne.
signed Michael Gallup this offseason. Like they've done this already, and
Didn't he like retire or something? Or is he just injured?
I
He
didn't
was
know
out
it
for
was
the
on the
season.
active roster.
See, there's no way he's on the active
Definitely
roster.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen him at all. I
Well, he
think
would
they
have
cut him.
definitely. Okay. Yeah, Jalen Lane had that one catch, and I was like, "Ooh, let's get him cooking." And then
Him
injury.
and Luke, yeah, both like one catch, and it's like, oh, look at those guys. Yeah, Luke was just could not have been more wide open.
And
Jalen
when you
Lane actually ran a pretty sick route on that touchdown, but
the
other than that,
you mentioned last week that Debo was your whole offense, and he
yeah, what do
got
you have like catches,
4 catches,
12
15
yards?
yards. Yeah, pretty close. Um,
This
so not a great performance from good old Debo. So it was really a lot. It was all on Jaden and all on Bill. And then that Zach Ertz touchdown was sick. I thought you guys had it sealed. I thought you guys had that shit sealed.
did too. They went up
Um,
8.
Chris Moore touchdown was awesome too. To be fair, like they were both great
Yep.
touchdowns. Well, who
I
was the
think
third
Jaden
one?
had a
Oh, yeah,
pretty
the
good
Luke one.
game,
Yeah, that was a good
other
one.
than the turnovers.
Yeah, that
Like
interception
the
was rough.
interception was bad,
Yeah,
and then the fumble obviously was horrible. But other than that, I thought he played a pretty good game. Like it definitely wasn't his best game, but with who they had out there, I thought he played pretty well. And
he didn't look
there were a
hobbled.
bunch of no, there were a bunch of like second and longs where like he could have taken a sack and turned it into a 10-yard gain. Like those are like vintage Jaden plays. So I don't know. It's
Vintage year
disappointing
two,
when
vintage Jaden plays.
fair enough.
Sorry, I had to call you out for that. That was funny.
That's
Uh,
what it feels like. It feels like it was years ago. They were, looked like a confident football team. Even though they won last week, it was hard. It was a hard night.
it's hard on prime time. It's hard on prime time. Um,
And when it's the Bears,
yeah,
like I still don't think the Bears are all that good.
you knew they were getting up for that game though. I mean, that was the game
I
that
guess.
destroyed their season last year. They had to win that game.
Yeah. And Ben Johnson too, like the team he lost to. So I guess. But now you're 3-3 going into Dallas, Kansas City,
Seahawks, Lions.
Seattle, and Detroit. Yeah.
How many do you need to win? One or two? Like must
I think
win.
2.
You think two?
I think they like 5-5. You can't be 4-6, not in this NFC.
It will be rough.
Like
And then you
unless the
only get
Eagles
really
totally crash.
your only easy games left are the Dolphins, Giants, and the Vikings
Yeah.
will be easier than the other ones, but still won't be easy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a brutal schedule.
Yeah, the fact that you're going into this stretch and you haven't played the Eagles once is a tough look. But
Yeah.
by the time you play the Eagles, who knows what they look like?
Goodness.
Um, I'm sure they'll be fine, but who like I'm just making good commentary for week 6. Yeah, I think you need to win one of the 2 home games. You got to win one of the Seahawks, one of the Lions, and upsetting the Chiefs on Monday night that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be big.
That would be worth
That'd be
4
big.
wins, just like the Chiefs on Sunday night this week. That would be that you guys would be 500 if you like actually or 2 above if you beat the Cowboys. That's the most winnable one is the Cowboys. Um,
Yep.
so need to limit Javante next week. Need to limit Javante. Any other lasting thoughts?
No.
Fair enough. Also on Monday night, Falcons were hurting under the Buffalo Bills. That was fun to see. My dad had an old school take. He was like, oh no, we need Buffalo to win because we can't have our win look diminished because they then lose to the Falcons." And I was like, "That's a good take, Dad, but like we can take the
Or did
division
you
right here."
break them?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's what everyone was saying on Twitter, all the Pats fans at least. I don't to be fair, I don't think that we broke them. I do think that the Atlanta Falcons pass rush is finally arrived. I don't think they've ever had a pass
Yep.
rush since we've done the podcast. And
No.
it is they were putting a hurting on. They were hurting Josh Allen. Um Josh Allen just looked bad, honestly. I saw a bunch of great memes of Nathan Peterman, and they said Josh Allen when James Cook isn't running for 200 yards, yak, or their wide receivers aren't running for 100 yards, yak. Um, it seemed like they were losing players left and right throughout the game. They lost a center, they lost a wide receiver, they lost Taylor Rapp in the secondary, or sorry, Terrell Bernard in the secondary. Um, and the best 2 players on their defense were Joey Bosa and, oh god, Tre'Davious White, who they got from the retirement home, and that's kinda all she wrote. Like, the Falcons had such a good first half that they they had such a good first half, they didn't even need to score the 3 points at the end. Sadly, the game thought it was gonna be like, "Alright, we'll get to see, like, a Bills comeback, and then the Falcons will just keep putting it on it." The Falcons really did slow down in the second half. It made it easier to watch the Bears Commanders game, and
Mhm.
because there wasn't much going on in the second half. But boy, did Drake London and Bijan Robinson look amazing in the first half. 80-yard rushing touchdown from Bijan Robinson, his career high. And Drake London had a touchdown where he extended his arm over the goal line. And then he had the second touchdown where he ran all the way down the field. They were playing for a field goal. And sadly, he steps his foot out of bounds on the 1 yard line with zeros on the clock. Very
Okay.
sad to see. He was really trying to get in there. It would have been a great touchdown, but alas, uh, it's funny that touchdown and the Roma Dunze non-touchdown. Both those non-touchdowns saved my fantasy football week for the dynasty. I was playing
Really?
against both of them. Yeah, I would have
I
lost.
heard, I heard a couple people today that lost because of the Adinze touchdown.
Yep.
I got called back.
Um. Other than that, I mean, it was literally Drake London and Bijan Robinson, and that was it. 16 out of the 20 completions from Michael Penix was to those 2 guys. I mean, he looked good.
I like the Falcons coming alive.
You like the
It's
Falcons what?
they're actually becoming like a fun team.
They are.
I like that they're coming.
Yeah. I like that they're coming live too. That pass rush is for real. The guy on their defense,
Yeah.
what's his name? Oh, there it is. Divine Diablo, number 0. He's a safety converted to linebacker. They
Mhm.
literally did Madden cheese in real life. Like that's the meta in Madden. You take a safety that is not so fast or is fast and you just put him at linebacker and yeah, he's like 6'4" maybe. And he looks like a monster on that defense. Um, I'm surprised this is his Like this isn't like he's not like a coming out like as a rookie. Like he was on the Raiders last year. Um, he is 6'3". He looks like he's 6'7" out there. Um, so that's he's a fun character. The Pats will play them, which is and they'll play them pretty soon. I think it's after the Titans game. Yeah, 2 weeks. But
Falcons Bucks, I think.
yeah, so those are the hardest two games on the Pats schedule. I think going forward, besides the other Bills game, and we'll see what the Ravens look like. Um, I like the fun Falcons. I would not like the fun Falcons against my team. Um, all right. Do we want to quickly
Talk
do
about the
some other
Pats.
games? Okay, we'll talk about the Pats. Drake May, 3 touchdowns in the first half. They looked awesome. A lot of weird ref ball in this game that a lot of the Pats fans are still
I
complaining
say
about.
it should have been 4, right?
Yep. Oh no, it should
Or
have been
did they score on
four.
that?
The fourth one was in the third or fourth quarter. No, it wasn't the first half. You're right, because it
That
was
was Douglas one.
Demario Douglas twice.
Or
Then
they
but
might
they
have
did
scored on that
score. Yeah, they did
drive. Okay.
score. Um, but speaking of Demario Douglas, he finally, I mean, he only got 3 catches, but for 71 yards and a touchdown. Kayshon Boutte has had 5 catches for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. They are apparently the rumors are that they're looking for a wide receiver. In whatever package they give up, I hope they don't give up one of these two guys. Diggs did not do anything, sadly. He had that great catch where they called it offensive pass interference, and he literally just barely touched the guy's shoulder pad. That was a strange call. There was
Did
like,
he have 2?
yes, he did have two because on the second Demario Douglas
Douglas.
touchdown, he was like both the players, defender and Stefan Diggs were hand fighting. So I really didn't see where it was egregious. And then the next play, Mac Hollins gets tackled while he's trying to catch up. But the win's a win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They did. It was getting stressful at the end of the game. Um, I told one of our friends, Chris Nally, to shut up. He said the catch was out of bounds, and I was very nervous. I mean, we couldn't lose to the Saints after beating the Bills. Um, and I thought Rattler looked good. There was I think the weapons around him are not great. Like Olave is decent.
No.
Shaheed is decent.
And
Um,
Kamara is like, we finally hit that point.
yeah, I think he's hit the wall, and I think you could tell when he they asked they asked him if he wanted to trade. So I guess they were getting interest from other teams, and he was like, "No, I'll just retire." Saying like, all right, Unc, we get it. Like we get it. You're running out of steam here. Yeah, the Pats rush game, their run defense is is back to speed. I mean, it was the same thing against the Bills. They've been really stuffing up the run this year, which is great to see when you spend 100 and whatever $1 million on Milton Williams. So it's nice to see that come into fruition. And there was a fumble that Chris Olave had. It was definitely a fumble, and then the refs didn't call it. They like for some reason they called it just an incomplete catch. And then there was a Jawan Johnson fumble. It definitely wasn't a fumble that they called a fumble. I guess to just make up for the last fumble. It was one of those good old classic makeup calls. Um, so the Pats defense played well, but I also like it was. I do think Spencer Rattler was like driving on um a lot of these drives. The rushing attack is horrendous, awful. Ramondre Stevenson, you want to guess his stat line? I'll give you this. He had more than 10
11
carries.
carries for 14 yards.
Close. 13 for 18. 1.4 yards per carry. Henderson got 9 for 27, so was was better. Um, but they still don't trust Henderson. I think I know why. There was a third down. Drake May's rolling out of the pocket. Henderson is doing happy feet for his pass blocking, and he's standing in front of nobody, and he's just shimmying his feet back and forth with his hands up. And he's not going to a defender that's coming straight for Drake May. I think he was supposed to stay behind the pocket because there was a defender that beat Morgan Moses right when the play happened, which is why Drake May had to roll out. And he just He's not looking for a catch. Um, so maybe that's why he must stink in practice. Like I love Henderson, or I loved him going into the draft, leaving the draft. But yeah, I had him going to the first round to you guys. Like there must be something about him in practice. He must stink.
Give time.
Yeah,
Pay
I'm
attention.
not giving up. I'm definitely not giving up. Especially, I won't give up until they start giving him 15 carries a game. Once they start giving him 15
Yeah.
carries a game, then I'll give up. But Drake May, my dad also another good old school take. He was like the halftime on Sunday Night Football. There's a whole segment about Drake May, and he's like, "Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I just want to be silent. I want to be silent when
Yep.
with these wins. I don't want to be showboating." And I was like, "Dad, come on, it's fun." Like there was nobody was saying this about Mac Jones when we were the number one seed in the AFC. Like there was none of this. So
Once
I
you win
love it.
on prime time like that too, I think you kind of lose the ability to
Yeah, you can't
win
hide
in
anymore.
silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything's looking good in the Pats department besides the run game. But that's okay as long as we stop the other team's run. I guess I won't care that much. And Drake May can sling it, man. He has 71 completion percentage with over 20 air yards, leading the league in that category. So that's pretty cool to watch. Um,
Imagine if you had like a bona fide wide receiver one too.
besides Diggs against Buffalo, yeah, we really don't. Like they're looking to trade for one though. So we'll have to see. There was rumors of Chris Olave. I don't want Jacoby Myers back. He's just another pass receiver that we already have five of. Like we do not need
Yeah,
Jacoby Myers. I like the guy.
he's a guy.
Yeah, he's just a guy though. Chris Olave, I guess wouldn't be bad. I don't know. I don't want the Saints leftovers. Um, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see who comes available. All right, Jags, Seahawks. This was uh this was a comeback down to earth for the Jaguars.
Yeah, show me who you really are.
Yeah, missing both extra points. I guess they probably went for it in the last one because it was in the fourth quarter. But missing the first extra point really seemed like they set them behind. The Seahawks really just took care of business in the second and third quarter, and then we're just toying with them. They can't the I don't know if the Seahawks run defense is just that good, but the Seahawks um just completely bottled up the running attack for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They they couldn't run
I
the
think
football
they are that
whatsoever.
good.
I think so too.
This defense does feel for real.
Yeah, I think it does.
Darnold, man, with a good defense, feels like he can just play free.
Hmm.
Like
You need.
slowly, you might have to help me on this because I feel like I'm slowly becoming a Darnold fan.
You were saying that on Sunday that we might have to eat our words with Darnold, and it's we can look wrong, but the second the playoffs come, they need to be up by two
Yes.
schools two scores for Darnold to look well, and he looks good while getting the two scores. So like I understand that, but if they're down two scores, I want no business with Sam Darnold.
And I don't like we did say this last week where like I don't want the ball in his hands
Yes.
at the end of a game.
Yep. Yeah, we saw it last week against the Buccaneers. I That doesn't mean though that they aren't one of the best offenses so far in the NFL. Um, their rushing attack could be better. It seems like they're trying to make Charbonnet a thing, and
Where's
it's not a
Charbonnet?
thing. Okay, Charbonnet's not a thing. Um,
Why is this always a thing in Seattle? Like it's a different coaching staff.
I don't know.
This is like back to Pete Carroll. This has always been a thing.
I think they're
Like
just
maybe they just
nervous of
don't want
Kenneth
Ken Walker to
Walker's
get
health.
hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the key. They need to get they at this point they should just get like a third running back. Just try to find a third guy just to have them all in there. Um, Jackson Smith and Jigba though.
They should have gotten Titan Bigsby.
Yeah,
to the
that would have been a good
Eagles.
tank. That would have been a good tank team. Ask could use tank. After that fumble one against the
Honestly,
Giants, maybe they'll trade him. Maybe they'll
why the
trade him
Eagles
again.
paid a fifth and a sixth for
Well,
the
and then
guy
they
who's
put
never
him as
gonna
punt
play.
returner. I mean, the guy's not a punt returner. His name is Tank Bigsby, guys. What are we doing? And then he fumbles on the, or I don't know if it was kickoff or fumble, but or punt, but and then he fumbles, and it's like, uh, um, Jackson Smith and Jigba, maybe the best, man, not maybe the best wide receiver in the league, but statistically so far the best wide receiver in the league, and
Yep.
just Sam Darnold's best friend, absolutely best friend for Sam Darnold.
You turned him
They,
into Jefferson.
yes, he really is turning him into Jefferson, and it's coming to the point where it's like, all right, you have a talented guy, let's just give him the ball 10 times. And it's like, wow, wow.
I would what percentage of Darnold's completions this year do you think are to him? Like 35?
50% was this game.
Like today,
Wasn't it like
yeah,
week one? It
50%. Week
was like
1 it was
90.
over.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. It
90%.
was like he completed 18 passes and 12 of them were to Smith and Jigba.
Yeah. I'm sure. Let me see if a little stat muse can
That's
help us out.
ChatGPT.
Um,
Oh, first time user ChatGPT.
you do
I guess
ChatGPT on
we
your
could
phone.
look
I'll
up
just Google.
Sam Darnold completions and then Jack and Smith and Jigba uh, receptions. So I'm just gonna raw dog it with Pro Football Reference.
Love it. Yeah, we'll do some math here on the
All right,
Wise
he's
Guy.
got 114 completions. I feel like we usually have somebody filling the conversation while the other person looks something
I
up.
know we're
But
both looking stuff up.
42 divided by 114
Okay. Now you got to do quick.
is 37. So I
37%.
kind of nailed. I actually lowballed it when I said 35.
Yeah,
That's insane. The
that is insane.
30%, 37% of a quarterback's completions are to one player.
I guess. Wait. I wonder what happens if we just look up JSN target rate, because that would be his 30. Yep, 36% of the team target share. And adjusted target
It's
rate is
56.
42%.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I guess. Wait. Yeah, it doesn't say. That's weird.
Got it.
High target volume is notable because league low. Oh, and they have a league low passing rate of 53%. So they're running the football the most, and he is getting the most target share out of the rest of the
Let's see.
49.7%. Or no, 53% because, or sorry, 50.3. We're getting too many maths here, man. Too many maths. Um, too many numbers. We don't like numbers here. But long story short, he's getting a lot of volume. He is incredible. Probably a league winner in a lot of fantasy leagues so far.
Yep.
That and Williams, league winners. Um, I guess not this
Williams.
week.
Javante.
Javante, yeah. Last 2 weeks,
Hope
Rico
so.
Dowdle. Um, all right, let's move on. I mean, there's not like the Jaguars. They finally got Brian Thomas Jr. going. He was in our parlay. There was a nice Tim Patrick touchdown at the end, but other than that, a lot of mediocrity in between. Now they got Brian Thomas Jr. going. Can we get Travis Hunter going too? Let's focus one guy at a time. Now the one's awoken.
Waldron. They can't support two
Yeah,
guys.
Waldron. Yeah, Waldron
They support
sucks.
one.
That I am nervous about the Jaguars going forward. I'm not gonna lie. Like they're gonna be 4-3 against the
Yeah, no,
Rams,
they do feel like a team that fizzles out.
and like they
Although
have the
this London
Raiders.
game, like coin flip, I think.
I think it's a coin flip just because it's in London and probably no Puka.
Yeah,
Like then I guess they're going to the Raiders, which isn't anything. The Texans might get them though, even though they started out they were 0-2, right?
0-3.
I guess they already did play. Yeah, they were 0-3. They already did play. I don't know. Maybe they won't fizzle
That
out.
was a
They have a
wise
pretty
pick.
easy schedule, but That was a rough game. That was a terrible game. That's the thing. When they win, it's going to be either like the most exciting game with the Chiefs or like a really ugly game.
Headful. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not really much in between.
And the Chiefs,
Um,
they don't win this game that game without the turnovers, which like obviously the turnovers matter, but more fluky than other stats.
yeah, it's a sticky stat. All right.
Not a sticky stat.
No, yeah, you're right. Sorry. You're right. It's not a sticky
Right?
stat. I don't know. I always thought maybe it's a stinky
Sticky
stat.
means it holds up.
Like that one?
Sticky stats are like target
Yeah.
share,
Yeah, you're right.
right?
Yeah. I agree. I messed up on that one. It is a stinky stat, not a sticky stat. They are using Sam Darnold perfectly though. 27 passes. That's what we need. We need 27 like keep it
Yeah.
under 30.
If he puts up Dylan Gabriel's line,
They're losing the
then
game.
they're not winning.
Yeah. Um
But they will never have to with that defense.
no. No, I was looking at Sunday was actually a pretty good day of football. Chargers Dolphins.
It was a
That
good
was
day.
a good game.
The 4 o'clock window was weak.
Yeah, I mean luckily I guess ended the Buccaneers kind of took it away at the end, but that was close for a little bit. Um, Chargers, Dolphins, back and forth game. Everyone in their fantasy leagues either picked up Hassan Haskins or Vidal. And if you picked up Haskins, sorry folks, you picked the wrong guy because Vidal had 18 carries for 142 or 24 yards, and he had um, 3 catches. So that's good for PPR and a receiving touchdown. So Justin Herbert looked back to being good. Their offensive, Lad McConkey finally woke up, 100 yards for him and a touchdown. They're really
Needed
working in
Quentin
this.
Johnson to be out.
Yeah, he did need Quentin Johnson to be out, and they're finally getting Adore Gatson, rookie tight end. I guess not finally, but they are now getting him active. They're getting him going. He had 7 catches as well. And the Dolphins, I mean, they finally were able to run the football. A-Chain looked great. Um, Tua, there's 3 interceptions. Did you see his quote after the game? That was like the biggest storyline, I think, from this game, besides that they blew it at the end. Um,
What did he say?
he said that it starts with leadership. We're having we're having players only meetings where people are coming in late or
Oh,
not coming on at all. And he's the captain of the football team. And if it's a players only meeting, then the leadership's on him. So silly quote. McDaniels said it's McDaniel or McDaniels. I always forget.
Daniel.
McDaniel. He uh he said that, you know, Tua shouldn't have said that. We're getting that like basically he's learning. And it's like, dude, he's in year 6 and making $100 million. Like
I was
he
about to
can't be
say he
learning
signed a
here.
massive contract.
Ugh, they just got this was a bad collapse by the Dolphins. I mean not collapse, I guess, because they came back, but they had the lead at the end, and the defense just let the Chargers drive right down the field. That was the big Lad McConkey catch. And it was a great catch. Got him right in the field goal range. Um, and that's all she wrote. Like I think they were kicking the field goal with what 3 seconds to go, something like that. I couldn't hear you. Yeah, I think your mic muted itself or something. Make sure the AirPods didn't connect on accident. Oh man, middle of the pod. That hasn't happened in a while. That stinks though. I don't know what's going on. It's not showing up green on Discord. I guess while you do that, you figure that out. I'm gonna pick in my Dynasty basketball league. I'm getting a lot of texts, so we'll see. I'll do some comment. Oh, there we go. We got you.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I was messing with my cords, so maybe it just switched up on me for some reason. Also connected to my phone at one point.
Oh no, it's all over the place.
But I said the Chargers needed this game. desperately after
Yes.
last week, and they're so banged up. Like dropping a game with the Dolphins would really put them on the ropes, especially in that division. Um, yeah, I mean, leave it to the Dolphins. Like bad teams find ways to lose games. That's like what I said about them a couple weeks ago when we ranked our bottom five teams. That like I didn't think they were close to the bottom because they're in all of these games and like they played the Chargers tough regardless of injury, but like they just cannot come through at the end of games.
No, it's funny. It's like they can't compete in the middle of the game, and then they come back at the end of the game, and then their defense is bad enough just to let the other team get the exact points that they need to win the game. Like it happened the last 2 weeks in a row with the Carolina Panthers too. They go they go hot at the beginning, and then they go a whole quarter where they can't score anything, and then they go back and they score at the end, but with too much time, and Bryce Young drives right down the field. So
Yeah,
yeah,
McDaniels, I think, is a
yeah,
dead
bad
man
vibes.
walking.
Bad vibes. Apparently, I don't think the owner wants to fire him. I think the owner apparently
Really?
likes him, but
Hmm.
I don't know who's to blame then if you like he's the one who convinced him to sign Tua, so I do think he's a dead man walking though. I just saw some report that was like the owner really likes McDaniel. Colts Cardinals, another good game. Colts actually to come back in this game. They showed
Surprisingly,
some adversity.
yeah.
And Jacoby Brissett, 320 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. I think the stat is Kyler Murray hasn't done that since 2022. Pretty sure that's the stat.
It's tough. They looked a lot better.
They did.
Like they don't. I think like you said it on Sunday that they lose that game by 3 touchdowns with Kyler Murray.
I think they do. I really do. Um, this was a good game for the Colts. We'll have to do the rankings pretty quickly, by the way. We're getting on some heavy time.
They are getting late.
Um, but the they're in my top five. And it was because this was a comeback win. They showed some adversity. They had a weird injuries at the beginning of the game. A tight end ran into a cornerback, so they were down a cornerback. They had a cornerback retire after the Rams game, so they're down two. Um, Jonathan Taylor just looks like that guy, and
Yep.
Daniel Jones. I mean, he had an interception that wasn't good, but he delivers the ball exactly where he needs to go. Man, another one of those guys, just keep his attempts under 30-ish, and you're good to go. He was right at the 30 line, and that's where you want Daniel Jones to be. You don't want him doing too much. You want Jonathan Taylor 20 yards a carry. Um, another team. I'm gonna start keeping track next couple weeks. Um, what good teams run the football 20 plus times? This is another one. They run the
Crazy how
football
that
20 plus
works.
time every week. Um, and part of it I guess is they have a good running back, but
The Jets ran the ball 20 times. For what it's worth.
that is true. That is true. Um, but I do think that this defense, like the Colts defense, it can get a lot of yards on it, but they're kind of they're somewhat there's some about it that I like about this Colts defense. Um,
I've always liked the Colts defense.
you were on it. You were on it week one. I will give you that. I
But I
didn't
feel like
listen.
every year they're like solid enough on defense.
Yeah.
Like they're never one of the best defenses in the NFL, but they're always it's kind of like that Titans like sneaky good.
Hmm.
Like they're always at least average.
All right. Um, sorry, people are yelling at me in the chat to draft because I also just teased them that I was going to draft while you were fixing your mic. Um,
Let's see, do we have any other 1 o'clock games that we missed? I don't. No, I don't think so.
no, we hit them all.
Uh, we can get rid of Titans Raiders real quick. We had this game on for 15 minutes, I think, because we had Red Zone on, and then realized that we might as well just put games on and it was one of the Wolves after that defensive touchdown for Tennessee that was called back. Still don't know if I agreed with that call, but that was kind of the end of the game. Raiders went up and never really looked back. The "we asked" quote is still holding up.
And they fired their coach.
It should Callahan, yeah, the firing of Callahan does anything. I'm so it. I said it the other day at work, but like I don't know if anything makes me more annoyed as an NFL fan than teams drafting a rookie quarterback and then firing their head coach like a
It's
year
happened the
after.
past 5 quarterbacks with that went number 1
It's so annoying.
or 4.
Like just start clean slate.
Yeah, you gotta do it beforehand. You gotta do it before, especially when you earn the number 1 pick. Like, there's a reason why you earn the number 1 pick. You're going in there
Right.
with a reason that you earned the number 1 pick. The Titans past since 22 maybe, whenever they fired Vrabel, it is it has been, and actually the year before, it's been GM, head coach, GM, head coach. I think it was GM, head coach, all fired. It's a it's a bad slate for they need new ownership. My old roommate Riley
Yeah.
is a Tennessee Titans fan, and it's like he's like not even like he's not like mad. He's not mad at the team. Like he just doesn't care. Like he's like, why? I'm so
Yeah.
uninvested on this football team. And he's like, at least with Will Levis, it was funny. With Marcus Mariota, we had a couple good years. With Tannehill, we had a couple good years. And he's like, with Cam Ward so far, it's just been sad.
Yep.
Um, and liking Cam Ward going in, um, thinking this Titans team could be sneaky good. I uh I couldn't be more wrong. And I mean, they can't get either of the running backs going. They don't have time to run the football because they're down by so much immediately. Um, so it's a sad team, really sad
They are
team.
a sad team.
And then we
20
can move
plus
on from there. Huh?
trend going. The Genty, 23 carries.
Yep.
You're gonna
Yep.
keep playing the 20 plus
We
game.
can keep playing. Um, I mean 17, but they also had Sean Tucker at 6. Oh, I just unplugged my headphones. All right, we're back. Speaking of which, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for the first time this season, and they are 5-1, are able to take a victory formation at the end of the game. I felt bad for Mac Jones this game. It didn't seem like
It was a hard watch.
it was a hard watch. Their whole offensive line were injured, and then like Trent Williams just it's not he doesn't have his pep anymore. He's not the go-to guy that you would want anymore. And
He's like
Ken
36, isn't he?
yeah, he's really old.
Maybe even older. He was drafted in like 2011.
Yeah, he could be a 37 um guy. Kendrick Bourne had 100-yard game in his career coming into the last 2 weeks and now has 3. So 2 more this season with Mac Jones. Um I thought I think Max looked good. He had 200 yards in the first half alone. The, the interceptions I don't think were his fault really, and he was getting clobbered all game, and he's been playing hurt.
Yeah.
Um, it was a shame to see what happened in the San Francisco offense because after the first half, where it was 16-20 going into the third quarter, they couldn't score at all. I mean, they scored 3 more points, and then it was just Buccaneers defense looking good and getting after them. Baker had another amazing run. This was I mean, we called it last week, baby. This was everyone calling Baker Mayfield the MVP. He's definitely the people's MVP so far. The Patrick Mahomes is probably Vegas and eventually the end of the regular season NFL MVP, but the people's MVP is 1,000% Baker Mayfield as of right now.
Yeah.
I think he deserves it more than Patrick Mahomes does. He's working with way less than what Patrick Mahomes has. He has he was on his 5th left guard, his 3rd right tackle, his 2nd center. Um, he has his
Three
backup
receivers
running
out.
back. He had 3 wide receivers out, and the second that Njigba got out, it's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna haul it to Cameron Johnson, a perfectly placed ball. He caught it in between his fingertips, but a perfectly placed ball in the third quarter there. Tez Johnson got his first touchdown. Only had that one catch, but he went for a touchdown. Did you see his quote? Great quote from the rookie.
Yeah.
He the crowd was chanting MVP, and he was like, he looked up and he's like, already? It's my first touchdown. And I think I don't remember who it was on the Buccaneers, but he looked at him. He's like, "Hey, that's for Baker Powell." And he's like, "Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense."
That's funny. It's a good time to be a Bucks fan right now.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
there's not a guy in the league who's easier to root for than Baker right now, I don't think. And um I mean they've won what 5 straight divisions in a row. But like it feels like they've won the division the last couple years because no one else is there to win the division. Whereas like this year now they're actually knocking off good teams.
Agreed. This Lions game is going to be fun. It'll be the battle of the
Yep.
injured fun teams. Both teams injured, both teams fun.
Yes.
Um, all right. I think we'll probably talk about them soon. And that Bengals Packers, we can talk about Bengals Packers. There was a moment where I thought the Bengals were going to win this game. It was
When?
like the third quarter after the second Joe Flacco touchdown. I think they were down by it was 18 to
Oh, okay.
20. I was like, oh, there's a chance. Um, Jordan Love continues to not impress me. I think that's my takeaway. And he's not doing anything wrong either.
I don't know what to think
Like he's
about the
not bad,
Packers.
but it's just
Like they're kind of just becoming the same team as they were last year.
yes. Yeah. Josh Jacobs always a monster. I think that's the
Yep.
key. Um Matthew Golden kind of a
They're
breakout
fast,
game for him.
smaller.
Like, didn't get a
Yeah.
touchdown yet. Dobbs sadly did not get a touchdown. I think they threw to him in the end zone when we were watching, and it did not work. But Matthew Golden finally like it's they after a bye week. People are saying the rookie bump after the bye week. Um,
Oh
so
boy.
yeah, maybe they're trying to get him in the game plan, trying to make him that number one wide receiver that they drafted him to be, at least in the first
Yeah.
round. So yeah, I think their defense is good. I don't think the Micah Parsons like if this was this if any game was like his game, like this would be it against his terrible offensive line
You think? Yeah.
and against Joe
Or the
Flacco,
game against the Cowboys.
huh? Yeah, or
Or
against the
that game against
Cowboys.
the Cowboys.
Yeah, and
Up
like
40
I'm
points.
not saying in a space you ever want to do that trade, but it's not looking like the worst trade in the world.
No.
Like it's not like the
I mean
Cowboys
their
are
defense
Micah
is
Parsons away from their defense being good still. And it's not like Micah Parsons on the
yeah.
Packers has been I mean, he's not even Khalil Mack when he went to the Bears. Not right now at least.
No, he's not.
So,
But he was the first 2 weeks it was completely changed the league.
yes.
Now 2 weeks later it doesn't mean anything. So
Yeah, no,
it's
it's just an interesting thing to monitor, I think.
roller coaster. Yeah.
It seemed like somewhere in this actually exactly in the second half, Joe Flacco realized that he has Jamar Chase on his team. He was like, I'm just going to do that. Um, so that'll be hopefully a good sign going forward for Jamar Chase managers. They're playing on Thursday. The NFL even advertised as the Unk Bowl. Once they do that, once the companies are in the joke, um, it's not as funny anymore.
Yeah, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, but it is.
It is crazy going from to like Harold Fannin to
Yeah.
Marchese and T. It's just not a lot.
This this is gonna be one of the first Thursday night games. Like I'm not I'm not pumped for, not whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right, but we were due for that. Let's do quickly because we're already at an hour 30. We'll do quickly, starting five up, the best NFL teams. Chris, you're number five.
I got the Bucks at 5. Just
Really?
sneaking in on the list. Yes. Too
Oh,
low.
damn. Yeah. All right.
Um, I think my thing with the Bucks is every game has been they've squeaked past.
Yeah,
And
it's a
I
good
think
argument.
that makes me nervous. Whereas, like, obviously, you are who your record is, but at the same time, there's regression there. And whether that comes in week 7 or in the divisional round, it's going to come at some point. I love Baker. And I think it's a great story, but they're also so injured.
Yeah.
But I still think they're a top 5 team in the NFL right now.
You have me questioning mine, but we'll get to it, I guess. Um,
We can disagree.
yeah, well, I know. I know. And I have my points. Um, I am going with number 5, the Denver Broncos.
I don't have the Broncos on my list. I don't
They
like the Broncos.
It's funny. I'm taking into account that this game was in London. They just beat the Eagles. It was a really, emotional game. And I'm also taking into accountability that they should not have lost the Colts game where that leverage call is the only time we've seen the leverage call all year so far. It seems like it happens every play or every field goal, and it just hasn't mattered since that field goal has happened. Um,
They should be 5-1. That's what you're saying.
yes. And I do think that their offense can play down to competition, but if there's anyone that's going to have the defense to take the Kansas City Chiefs from winning, if anything's going to stop the Kansas City Chiefs from winning the AFC West, it is not going to be the Chargers this year, but instead the Broncos, who have an amazing defense so far. I think that their defense is just that good. They're on pace to beat every sack record, and um, that's what scares me. So that's what makes them a top 5 team for me. I'm still not a Bo
That's fair.
believer. I still think that there's some question marks with Bo, but he seems like one of those quarterbacks that plays up and down to competition.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And we saw like exactly that in the Eagles game,
Yep.
or when they needed him to go out and make plays, he did. And yeah, the defense keeps him in the game to get to that point where when he does need to make a play, it's a close game.
If he can ever become a Baker, he might be unbeatable. Yeah. All right, what do you got it for?
I had the Packers at 4 that we just talked about as being the
Oh,
same
we're
team as
gonna have
last year.
different lists.
I,
This is gonna be fun.
I, I still believe that this Micah Parsons thing is legit. Like
Okay.
the amount of hype that we gave after 2 weeks, like we can't just completely cast that aside.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's been going on. Like it almost feels like they're coasting right now.
Hmm.
Um, and if their offense is what we think it is, I still think they're a top 5 team with how good they can be defensively.
Okay. I like it. So are you doing? Because I guess I did top 5 teams right now. Like if you did a power ranking, are you doing in that sense or like when we look at the end of the year? This is what I'm gonna think the top 5 teams are.
Um, More so end of the year, I think.
Okay.
I don't understand power rankings. Because how are power rankings not just standings?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they
I've
had the
never
Pats as like the
understood it.
16th, like the NFL one. I was like 16th behind Jaguars. Give me a break. Um,
See, but like that's what it should be. Like you should be ranking teams based on like what you think they really are.
yes.
I
Yeah,
feel like
I
power
think
rankings.
this is what I think it's really are. I think
Okay.
this is
Okay. Go ahead.
Um, number 4, I actually have the Kansas City Chiefs,
Okay.
and it looks like Mahomes is back. It looks like that they're figuring out everything on the offense. I just hate their run game. That is not going to be fixed by Rasheed Rice. Um, they really shouldn't have lost that Jaguars game, but they did. Um, and they really shouldn't have
And
lost
then
that
Chargers.
Eagles game and the Chargers game, but they did. So it's it's interesting because Mahomes looking the best that he's looked. The defense still looks good. I would like to see them against Buffalo in November 2nd when they play. I'd like to see them against the Commanders later in October when they play. And yeah, I just need I don't like the Chiefs like the Lions were outside. The Ravens, we've learned, are cupcakes. The Giants held them to 22 points. I know they got 30 and 28 the past 2 weeks, 37 against the Ravens, but and they're getting Rashee Rice back. They might spank the Raiders, and it completely changes it. And I think that they're going to be top three. But right now, I just left them right outside. Gave a little more respect to the better records out there in the NFL. Um, and that's where we're at with the Chiefs.
I have the Chiefs at 3.
Okay,
The
perfect
one
transition.
spot ahead of you.
Okay,
Um, I agree. I think the run game is definitely an issue. It's kind of proven it doesn't really matter.
yes, and they
Like, they
have
haven't really had
multiple
a run
years in a row.
game
Yeah,
since Kareem Hunt. And I guess Kareem Hunt's still on the team, but you know what I mean. Like
yes.
the first Kareem Hunt pre kicking the woman in the hallway. Um, yeah, like maybe it's just recency bias because we just watched them win a game against another team that I have on this list. But it does feel like that Jaguars what?
No, I'm just okay. All right.
um, it does feel like that Jags game was a bit of a fluke. And I think just like all the talk this offseason that we did about the Chiefs is like
Come into fruition.
I'm not just gonna give that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
No,
as
I
soon as
get
they
it.
look good, I'm gonna back up there.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I do think like they're gonna, even though I have 3 teams ahead of them, I do think that they're like if I were to bet, which if you're Vegas, you also would think the same way, and that they're gonna win the Super Bowl. Um, but I need to see I need to see against a better defense that doesn't have the whole secondary wiped out. I think that would be
Yeah, fair.
um, and I think now it's week 6. I think in week 12 we should do this again. See what changed.
Yes, agreed.
Um,
You
I
don't have the
have
lines on your list?
what? No,
All right, go ahead.
no. Number 3, I have the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm falling for the JSN. I'm falling for the defense. They're gonna do just enough to win these games. They seem like they know what they're doing with Sam Darnold. I still don't want him in a 2-minute drill situation. I think that 49ers loss at the beginning of the year was just weird, like trying to get the offense together. They couldn't really start the play action. Their running attack wasn't really great. I think once they figure out the Charbonnet Kenneth Walker deal, that they are going to be a high-powered offense. I think it's like sneaky that they have the Cooper Cup thing going on. He hasn't done much, but just that he's a factor, and um, had a touchdown last week. He had 40 yards last week, 2 catches. Um, they could use a, they could use it like they could get Torrey Holton going. That would be nice, but that's not what we saw with Sam Darnold last year with Justin Jefferson. It's just going to be Jackson Smith-Njigba all day long, and I like it. I think they do just enough to win these football games. I don't think they make I don't think they make mistakes. I think their defense is really good. And when everyone's healthy on their secondary, I'm a big fan of their secondary and their D line.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, like I said, the defense is for real. It's probably a top 5 defense in the NFL right now. I just can't. Arnold.
You're losing frame rate. Is that you or me? It looks like it might be you.
Like if we did this last year, the Vikings.
Hello? Looks like it stopped. Oh man. You're cooking up with the Vikings. I like that take.
How many games they could continue to win. And like even if
Oh
they
man. This is bad. We're running out of steam. Is it not plugged in? Is something going on? All right. Well, now I'm gonna pick my dynasty basketball while Chris figures this out this time.
I think 9.
Let's see. Hello? What's up? I think I got you back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, now I don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, it's just low. Oh,
I
wait a minute.
think.
It's just delayed. It's just
Can
delayed.
you hear me? Yeah. My what?
We'll see. We'll see when it
You
comes
got me?
back. Now I got you. There we go. Sorry to the listeners out there. That was probably hard because it was rough on my ears, but it was all right. I liked what you were cooking up though with the Vikings. Go ahead.
Vikings, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got cut off, but I
You
said
said
that
we've
I would
seen this
never put the
before, and
Vikings in
then
the top last year. And like even if Seattle goes 13-4, like I still don't believe in them to make the Super Bowl. And like when I look at these top 5 teams, like these are teams that I really think could win the Super Bowl.
okay, yeah, like someone you
I
don't
just
want to
don't
see in the
know.
playoffs. And the Seahawks were begging to see them in the playoffs. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I think playing right now in the regular season, what they're doing, I like what they're doing. And I think going into it, like you wouldn't want to, like, of course, if the playoffs started today, I think I would rank these a little differently.
Yeah.
But
I think that's
like,
kind of how I did mine.
yeah, like projecting to the rest of the season, if we see like we just got to get them where like if they come into the game and or come into the playoffs and they're like they got a bunch of easy games. Like they got the Texans, that I'm not afraid of. They got the Cardinals, they got the Titans, the Vikings revenge game. Colts will be a fun game, and the Panthers and the 49ers. Um and it's funny, like maybe I should switch this out. Are we allowed to do that? Because I still like what I said, but I also like the Rams. Like I think the Rams could possibly win that
Yeah.
division. I just think
Like
they
the
play
Rams,
down to
yeah.
their competition.
I like
Um,
the Niners too if you're healthy.
I do like the
It's a
Niners
rough
when they're
division.
healthy. It is. It is a rough division, and they're all 4-2, so it all makes sense. Like they're kind of interchangeable right now.
I thought Seattle was 5-1.
No, no, they lost to the Niners and they
Oh,
lost,
Bucks. Niners, yeah.
yeah, to the Bucks.
Right.
And I
The
think
Niners
part
game,
of
like
part of the reasoning was that they kept it so close against the Bucks, and it was such a shootout, and they had it.
if the Bucks had 1 or 2.
Well, we'll get there. I have the Indianapolis Colts at 2, so
I
um,
knew I knew Bucks Colts were your top 2 at this point.
the the Colts, which is it's crazy. I got Daniel Jones and I got Sam Darnold in my top 5, top 3 even.
That's and I couldn't do that.
I think it's I think it's it probably will bite me in the ass, but it's like I think going into the playoffs, like these are the teams that are gonna have the best records. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, look at the Colts. The Colts got the Chargers, which they could easily win. They got the Titans. I mean, the Steelers maybe a hard game, maybe not. The Falcons maybe a hard game, maybe not. The Chiefs, which will be a hard game. The Texans, the Jags, um, the Seahawks, which will be I just mentioned will be fun. The 49ers, which who knows what the 49ers look like? Who's even on the 49ers at that point? Um, the Jags and the Texans. I don't know. Just and it's
Yeah.
this is funny because I just said that they should be reversed on the Broncos thing. So the Broncos should be 5-1 and the Colts should be 4-2. But alas, they also should have won that Rams game that they completely. So you flip those two games, and the Colts are still. I mean, they are 5-1 right now, but they would still be 5-1 in this hypothetical scenario. Um, so like they're a fumble away from a self-inflicted fumble, mind you, away from being 6-0, the only 6-0 team in the NFL.
I don't know if I like this hypothetical game. If you just gave the game to the Broncos, you can't say that the Colts would be 6-0.
Okay, well then they'd still be 5-1.
They'd be what they are.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are what they are is the underlying point. But this will whoop whoop your ass as a if you're a bad team, and will keep it
Yes, they do
competitive
do
if you're
that.
a good team. Like they will be competitive. Um, this is another team I can't wait to bet in the playoffs. So maybe there's something up with my
And again,
rankings. Maybe it's more of a regular season top five teams
yeah,
than a playoff top five teams. But I like the variability that we've had so far. So I'm a fan of how I did it.
yeah, I went like all traditional.
Yeah.
You're more progressive with your teams.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna hate what I have.
I think we're reconnecting.
Yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
So disappointing. I think that the people were able to hear me though. They they were I will say they're not actually cooked. They were 4-2 last year in the same position. Week 5 and 6, I believe, were back-to-back losses. So it is they were against much better teams. And this might have maybe it wasn't last year, maybe it was a couple years ago and then they made
And
the
the
AFC
Pats,
Championship. Um what?
the losses were against much better teams.
Yeah, it was like the number 1 Tennessee Titans and I think it was the Baltimore Ravens. So I will say that those two teams from the 2022 season are probably better than this Pats team right now, even though I love this
Oh,
Pats team.
2022. Oh, I thought you were
Yeah,
talking about last year.
I thought it was last year too, but I now remember that it was against the Titans had Derrick Henry, not the Ravens.
They
So
did get spanked by the Ravens last year, though, right?
I'll have to look back. Um,
Sunday night.
I'm looking right now.
Not that that's super
Last year they
relevant,
lost to
but
the Rams by 2, and then um, I don't know if they did play the Ravens. I don't think they played the Ravens last year. That might maybe it was 2 years ago.
maybe it was. Point is, they can have bad losses and still be a really good team. And
Yes.
I'm not gonna walk back my take that they're like one of the most talented teams in the NFL. You have some secondary stuff to figure out for sure, but they'll be fine.
I'm looking back at history right now, and I think I completely messed up the year that they lost back-to-back games. But I saw it on Twitter. It was against the Ravens and the Titans. Um, because the year that I thought of, 2022, they completely pummeled the Titans. So, well, someone could fact check me. I'm sure someone would fact check me. But they were 2-2, or they lost
Last year they
back to
lost
back.
to Ravens and Texans back to back. Is that what you're
Texans,
thinking
that's what
of?
it was. Yeah, that's what it was. I
Yeah, and they did 35-10 to the Ravens and then 23-20 to the Texans. It's like if he flipped the games from this year.
yes, yep. So it was last year. Okay, it just wasn't the Titans.
And
That's
then
what
they
was
won
confusing. It was the Ravens.
like 7 straight.
Yep. So it's possible. You get to back losses this early in the season, and everyone's bound to nail you in the coffin. It is
Yeah.
They have to get healthier is the key. They have to get healthier.
Yeah.
And it's funny, if teams start bottling up James Cook as they have the past 2 weeks, then they're gonna have to get a wide receiver to really step up. Last year, Shakur was really good at the end of the last season. He was very consistent, which was I loved in fantasy football. He has not been consistent this year whatsoever. And so I don't hate the Bills. I think win is all said and done. I had them as 6. I wrote down. I literally even though we did 5, I wrote down 6 and then add the Bills to have um a little bit with it. Does that mean you have the Eagles number 1?
No, I have the Lions at 1.
Oh, interesting. I forgot about the Lions that you said was on this list. I thought you already said them. Um, give me the Lions because I have the Buccaneers, which was obvious from.
The Lions have looked like the best team in the NFL for 4 out of the 6 weeks this season. They had the one Packer game, which was horrible. I'm gonna throw that one away because this is my list and I can. And then they lost at Arrowhead in a game that was totally rigged to a team that was in danger of falling to 2-4, which couldn't happen.
Are you looking at the teams that they beat?
No, but I think like you put the Colts in there up there for whooping bad teams.
They also played close against the Rams. They beat the Broncos. Um, is that it? Is that all my? They didn't play
Yes.
any other good teams, right? Yeah, I guess they kept it close against the Cardinals.
Like, it's the
Yeah,
NFL, you play who you play.
that is true. That is true. I'm just for
And
the
the
fans
Lions,
out
what other
there. The
games
Lions have played the Bears, the Bengals, the Browns, and the poopy Ravens. So
they played the Ravens
they
with
had
Lamar
Lamar. They
in
had Lamar,
Baltimore. They were 5.5-point underdogs,
and they did. The Ravens did have. They scored 30 too. So I'll
and
give
the
you that.
Bears are 3-2.
But we didn't know their defense was so bad. Oh, don't give me the Bears are 3-2. Get out of here.
They are 3-2.
So- so
What do you mean?
they whooped the Bears. That was three and
They
two.
beat them by like 1,000.
Oh man. Well, then they're gonna beat you guys by 1,000.
They just might. Another revenge game, which we seem to have several of.
So that means Monday night, 7 o'clock is the Wise Guys number one versus the Wise Guys number one teams in the NFL. That'll be. I was already excited
Not
for this
having in
game.
top 5, I think is egregious. You put the Seahawks have the same record as them.
No. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't. I'm worried about the defense. I mean, I guess it didn't matter last year. They lost all those people last year, and it didn't matter. And they were playing against the rigged Chiefs. Taylor Swift was there. Um. So
Ooh.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Mystical black magic goes over the field, and they were outdoors. Um.
Yeah, the outdoors thing sucks. Is this game in Detroit?
Yes, the Buccaneers game is in Detroit, so we'll have the Lions at their full power. All right. I don't hate it.
What's
I
the
think you're
line? Let
right.
me just I'm just curious if Vegas agrees with me or not.
If I could get a redo, I would do Lions at. I kind of want to stand on my ground at the Seahawks, so I don't get a redo anyway. So I'm gonna stand
They're
my ground with
five
the
and a
Seahawks.
half point favorites against the Bucks.
Well, because the Bucks have nobody. My number one. The reason why the Bucks are number one is because when everyone's back, what the hell are they gonna look like? When they actually have a real offensive line, when they have two more wide receivers, three more wide receivers, uh, what are they gonna look like? They're gonna look amazing.
I
Yeah,
think they'll look the same.
okay. Um, I will say my top three teams have my least confident quarterbacks. My top four teams, actually no, the Broncos I moved down to five. My top three teams and four out of the five, I'm not confident in any of their quarterbacks. So I don't know what that says about me. To be fair, we would have the same conversation with Jared Goff a couple years ago if it wasn't.
We could still have a conversation with Jared Goff, I think, to a
Yeah,
degree.
yeah, I think you're right.
He just plays in a machine.
Yeah, he does.
It can't go outside.
You know, it's like the Seahawks think that they have Montgomery and Gibbs, and they just don't. They have two.
Just
They have
Ken
two
Walker.
Pacheco's.
Oh, Ken Walker's good.
I
Ken
think Ken
Walker's
Walker's
better
good
than
too.
Montgomery, I think.
Yeah, I would say that. I don't know. Montgomery's just underrated.
Close. It's close.
It is close. All right,
Charbonnet is like he's the worst.
he is the worst. Um, let's wrap it up. I mean, wrap it up. It's a 2-hour podcast, but thank you all for listening, and we'll see everyone on